Today in the Fresh Brew Run Club, I'm comparing the New Balance More V4 versus the New Balance 1080 V13. What's the difference, and what's the better shoe? Welcome to the Fresh Brew Run Club. Today's video is another shoe comparison. This time, two shoes that I've been running in recently, the New Balance More V4 and the New Balance 1080 V13. So I've been a big fan of the More V4s this year. I just got the 1080 V13s. So I'm gonna directly compare these two shoes by running 4 miles in the More V4s because I got these first, and 4 miles in the 1080 V13s. I'm also balancing on one foot because it's raining and I don't wanna get my right foot wet. So I'm gonna put this shoe on, the More V4, start my 4-mile run, come back to my car here, put on the 1080 V13s, run 4 miles, and then give my my overall thoughts after the run. So let's go. All right, so kicking off with the More V4s, these are New Balance's max cushion shoes. So there's a ton of their Fresh Foam X foam in the midsole. They're a really wide shoe, which I like a lot, and they have a rocker construction, meaning it's kind of a curved shape. So it really helps to propel you forward in your run. So I kind of like the max cushion type of shoes. However, the Fresh Foam X in these is just firm enough where you can do multiple different types of workouts. So it's obviously great for easy runs, but I've taken these on long runs. I've taken these on tempo runs. I've even done speed workouts. My ankle was hurting in my training for the marathon last year, running in the Vaporflies. So I switched to the More V4s for my speed workout. And obviously the More V4s are a much heavier shoe, but they made my ankle feel remarkably better. So they're versatile. They're supposed to be max cushion, but that doesn't mean that you can only run slow in these. You got to put just a little bit more effort to kind of get going, but once you're moving, these are great. And I think that rocker construction has a lot to do with that. I've also made a bunch of videos about the More V4s and a video about the 1080 V13s. So I will link those in the description below. All right, 2 miles down, halfway. Turn around, head back to my car and switch shoes. All right, 4 miles done in the More V4s. Time to switch shoes, put on the New Balance 1080 V13s, and go for another 4-mile run. It is 50 degrees on December 26th, so man, heating up. All right, so these are the V13s, More V4s for reference. I wanted to keep these clean for this video, but I ran through a field and stepped in goose poop and got mud all over them, so whoops. All right, we're ready. Begin. Okay, so right off the bat, they're a little snug. I'm a size 10, I got a size 10. Normally size 10 fits me. These are a little snug. Now without running in a 10.5, I can't say I recommend getting a size up, but I think the 10s are fine for me. But again, little snug. So I've gone about a 1/4 mile, and I would say the most noticeable difference between these and the More V4s is the foam. It is way more bouncy than the More V4s. So technically both of these shoes are comprised of Fresh Foam X foam, which is like New Balance's lightweight high-tech foam. These are far less firm. So if you want to bounce and you don't want as much firmness, the 1080 V13s are definitely the way to go. If you like a little more firmness, the More V4s. Now I think the bounce feels pretty good. I feel like I'm getting a lot of energy return. It's not like they're too cushioned or too soft and all of the energy from my foot strike just goes straight into the sidewalk. I get that bounce back, which is nice. So the other big noticeable difference is the 1080 V13s are not that rocker construction. They're more flat. So I can definitely feel myself running more on my heels and the middle of my foot, as opposed to the More V4s where I was more up forward. I'm a heel striker. I think the More V4s are great for heel strikers because it kind of pushes you forward. These, I'm definitely more back in my stride. I know some people really hate the rocker, so if that's the case for you, maybe you want to do the 1080s, but that's a matter of preference. So the 1080s are also lighter. I don't have one of those special scales, but just going by feel, definitely a lighter shoe than the More V4s. And part of that lightweight design means I can feel more of an impact in my ankles than the More V4s. And again, I'm a heel striker, so I don't have the best running form in the world. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but just something to keep in mind. If you want more support, go with the More V4s. 2 miles in, time to turn around. Now, as far as like what types of runs for the 1080s, I don't know. I think they are pretty versatile. They're lighter, so you can get a little bit of speed out of them, but they do have that cushioning for longer distances. It's just, again, the firmness. Some people like firmer shoes for long runs. If that's the case, these might not be for you. But if you really like that cushion, that bounce, check these out. They're good. All right, run number 2 done in the 1080 V13s. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. I think the title, or at least the summary of this video, is going to be firm versus bouncy. So it's all a matter of preference. I think both of these shoes are really good. For me personally, I think you can get the sense that I prefer the more V4s. I like the rocker construction, I like the firmness, I like the width. It's just a really good shoe that I have gotten a lot of versatility out of. The 1080 V13 is also a good shoe, but it's just a little too bouncy for my liking. That Fresh Foam X material that New Balance has in both of these shoes, I actually think that they're slightly different in each of these. Like I said, the More V4 is firmer, the 1080 V13 is a little more bouncy. The More V4 offers a little more stability that I prefer. So it's just, again, a matter of preference. Both are good shoes, just up to what you actually like to run in. So that will be my recap. If you have any questions about this shoe, please leave a comment below. I will do my best to answer them. But hopefully I gave you some things to consider if you're debating which shoe you should buy between the More V4 and the 1080 V13. But that will be the video for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon.